Maybe some people think it's a good thing or it makes them feel good to know that if their dog isn't in their presence, they lose their mind and they're extremely chaotic and they panic, right? Because that gives people the feeling that their dog really loves them. But guys, in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about separation anxiety, and we're going to talk about it from my vantage point. If this is your first time here, first of all, thank you for stopping by. Second of all, let me introduce myself and give you a little bit of my background. My name's Captain Chad. I own Team Floppy Ears LLC. I have been a dog training business owner since 2018 officially, when we first formed our LLC, but been training dogs several years before that. So if I were to break down how many dogs I've seen in that span of time, I honestly couldn't really even put a finger on how many, but it's been a significant amount. And I only tell you that with hopes that what I'm about to say has a little more credibility than if you were to just be hearing this from your Auntie Susan, who's had dogs her whole life and thinks she knows a little bit more than she does. Because there's a big difference between those two people, right? A dog training business owner versus anybody that's had dogs their whole life. I've had a vehicle my whole life. If my vehicle breaks, I got to take that thing to the mechanic, because when push comes to shove, I really don't know what I'm talking about, even though I know that an engine runs the thing and I know like the basic fundamentals. But when it breaks, I really don't know what the hell I'm doing, and I need to take it to an expert. You could use that comparison for dogs as well, okay? So separation anxiety, let me just say, is definitely not a good thing. If your dog panics because they're not in your present, that's a very chaotic frame of mind. It's not good. And I think if you looked at it from that vantage point, you probably wouldn't want your dog to have separation anxiety symptoms. And one thing I'll say about it is a large percentage of the time a dog is displaying separation anxiety symptoms, this is something that was learned, something that was developed over the course of time. And it happens because dogs, how do I say? I'm trying to say this without like hurting feelings and shit, because this doesn't happen as a result of any malice or any, significant purpose. Like, people don't mean to do this. But it happens because dogs don't learn to be independent. They learn to be dependent on too much affection. They learn to be dependent because we're not incorporating the type of structure and training on a daily basis that teaches a dog to be more independent. I'll say 90% of the time, separation anxiety is taught and it is learned by the dog as a result of the management. Okay? So if you're watching this video and you're waiting for like, well, what would be a solution? What would be a solution to helping my dog who literally goes into a frenzy when I'm not around or when they can't be with me? Listen, because it's on my mind right now, because I have a dog. I offer boarding as well. So I board dogs. Like, people go on vacation, they leave town, they bring me their dogs. I watch them. And I could just tell you right away which dogs have separation anxiety based on how they behave in the crate. A lot of people don't believe in crate training. And if I was going to give you a starting point in reference to how to help separation anxiety, crate training would be unequivocally the very first thing that we started to dive into. I got 3 crates right over there. All 3 of my dogs, I'll show you, all 3 of my dogs have been crate trained from the very beginning. And among all the other benefits from crate training teaching a dog to be independent and teaching a dog that they can survive over there without being up my ass all the time would again be the starting point, right? Go relax in your crate while I'm on my computer doing my fucking, my homework and all that, or my work or whatever I need to be doing. Or while I'm doing the dishes, go on your place, teaching a place command. Like, just be over there and exist without me and learn that you survive. Like, you survive that. Like, it's not the end of the world that you're not with me 24/7. And I look at this strategy, and that's just the tip of the iceberg in reference to, forging a balanced dog. Obviously, there's more to go into it. There's fulfillment, there's biological fulfillment, there's obedience training, like all of it, exposure, socialization, like all of it plays into like the balanced dog. But it's an extreme imbalance in a dog when they panic when you're not around. And so I think it's a much easier thing for me to say as somebody who understands like what the healthy choice is and what the healthy way to go about this is for the dog. Because typically a dog will start crying for you and it makes you feel bad. And people don't really understand, hey man, I know it kind of sucks for you right now, but like I need you to learn to be independent because I don't want to send you to a boarding facility that's going to take excellent care of you and be panicking when you're not around a human being. Like, I would much prefer you be calm and relaxed inside that crate as opposed to panicking in a horrible state of mind, right? Or if you go to the vet and you need to drop the dog out at the vet for some medical stuff, like, you don't want to be thinking in your head, hey, I know my dog is absolutely losing its shit right now because of the separation anxiety symptoms that I may have inadvertently incorporated into my dog. You want to have that peace of mind that your dog is doing well where they are when you have to leave them. I can't tell you the amount of people that have slid in my DMs and said, oh, I don't have anybody I trust or whatever, and so I just don't ever go on vacation and I don't ever do anything. Like, separation anxiety is keeping people from living their lives. Like, it doesn't just stop at it's affecting the dog. Like, it affects the human being as well and their life. And the whole point of training, from my vantage point, is to do all the things necessary so that we can both live life more peacefully and happily. You know what I'm saying? So people are like, well, how do I help separate? Teach independence, teach independence, teach independence, more control, more rules, more boundaries, more structure, more routine, crate training, place work. These are the types of things that are going to combat the separation anxiety symptoms in your dog. So, guys, if you enjoyed the conversation this morning, if you'll do me a favor, leave me a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot. I'm trying to get this YouTube thing popping, trying to provide as much value as I possibly can for you. If you have anything to add, if you have any stories or anything at all, leave it in the comments section below. And let me know of any other type of dog content you'd like to hear or see from somebody who's been doing this since professionally since 2018. Started in 13, started in 13, formed in 18. So it's been quite some time, and I've seen a lot of shit. And hopefully I can help you guys out with anything else you might be curious about. Captain Chad, Rosie the Pit, Joe Lee the Successor, and my little wiener over here. There she is, Cora. She's in my 3-week board and train program right now. Anyway, love you guys. Toodle pip. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. Peace.